Hello guys, welcome to Slick Report. Please subscribe for more videos. Today, we are going to listen the stories which have been given the flair, asshole. So now, let's get into the stories. AITA for not inviting my daughter to dinner after she called my girlfriend a gold digger. I've never been particularly close with my daughter. After me and her mom divorced when she was 13, I saw her maybe once every 2-3 months, and on birthdays, holidays. I do blame myself for that. After the divorce I went into a sort of midlife crisis, although I was only in my early 30s. Over the last few years I've dated quite a few women, but I wouldn't class any of those relationships as serious. 6 months ago I started dating my current girlfriend. About 6 weeks ago I invited most of my family out to dinner, my daughter, my siblings and their partners, my parents. I felt like our relationship was at a point that I wanted to introduce her as my girlfriend to the family, and everyone seemed to like her. We had a fun dinner. But then after a few glasses of wine me and my daughter got into this small argument. I honestly don't even remember what it was about, and during that argument she called my girlfriend a gold digger and left shortly after. She generally just ruined the whole dinner. I'm not delusional. I know one of the reasons that my girlfriend is with me is money, and I assume everyone else in the family knows that too. Same way one of the reasons I'm with my girlfriend are her looks. Last weekend I threw a small indoor barbecue dinner at my house, and I again invited most of my family and a few friends and some of my girlfriend's friends. But I didn't invite my daughter. She very obviously doesn't like my girlfriend, and I didn't want a repeat of the last situation. However, when my daughter found out she wasn't invited afterwards, she sent me some angry messages calling me a selfish, narcissistic prick. And for whatever reason one of my sisters has taken her side and said I should have invited her. So was AITA for not inviting her? AITA for not wanting to sleep with my wife unless she showers. I, 35M, and my wife, 34F, have been married for 2 years. We never lived with each other prior to marriage. What I noticed is that there are times when she would come home from work late and is too lazy to shower, so she would brush her teeth and go to bed. At first, I'm usually cool about it because I understand she is tired and just wants to go to bed. However, lately, I noticed that if we would go out to eat at a restaurant, she would come home, change and go to bed. The problem is that I have developed a weird sense of smell, where if it smells like food or anything else out of the ordinary, I would not be able to sleep. I have a hard time sleeping in the first place, so anything out of the ordinary would disturb my sleep. We came home from dinner tonight and she decided to go to bed without showering. We had some food that her clothes were pretty smelly afterwards. I came home, showered right away. I got into bed and I couldn't stand the smell, so I told her that I can't sleep in bed unless she showered. She was super offended, so now I'm sleeping on the couch. Not sure what to do here because I feel like I can't be in the same bed due to the smell. AITA for telling her that I can't be in the same bed unless she showers. AITA for arguing with my parents for waking me up in their house. I, 19M, live with my parents. I have a 1-year-old daughter who lives with me as well. I live in the city and can't really move far due to custody agreements, so it has been impossible to afford a city apartment duplex, as well as my daughter and insurance, all that fun stuff. It's just not possible. I make $2,200 a month. I usually spend 90% of my free time taking care of my daughter and the other 10% working due to no babysitters, baby mother not doing her part. So I can't work until my parents get home to watch my kid. This leads to almost 0 minutes of alone time relaxation. My daughter is gone for a week to visit her mom's family across the country. I barely get any sleep, and I only have 1 day off while she's gone, which was today. I took a nap and was woken up to my parents remodeling the house because they're selling it. I said, "Are you serious?" And they said this is the only time we have time to get work done on the house. They work for themselves. They can take the day off whenever they want. I'm home until 4 p.m. every day. They have plenty of time to come home and work on the house while I'm watching my daughter. But they only take the days off while she's on vacation, leaving my only day off, as well as my mornings before work, to be filled with remodeling and loud noises. I have misophonia and they know it. I argued that I just can't leave work whenever, and I never get time to myself. And they were using my daughter being gone to get stuff done while I don't get to catch up on sleep self-care because of the house being torn up and constant noises. They said I'm being selfish. Once again I said it's my daughter and she's gone, and I don't even get to do my shit. Just you guys. My baby mama gets a vacation to Florida, as she calls it, and my parents get to take all of this time from work. But I get no days off or quiet time or alone time. They said sleep somewhere else or this is the only time we have when it's technically not. I actually don't have a single second to myself and they're acting as if they deserve this more than I do, which is honestly devastating. And I'm astonished that they're even acting this way with his hard I work every day. I'm exhausted and just want to sleep, man. I understand it's their house, but I feel like they should at least cut me a little slack and realize I never get to relax. AITA for wanting an apology for something that was said 35 years ago. 35 years ago, I lost my older brother to cancer at the age of 16. He was my hero and only sibling. On the night before his funeral, my dad let me drink alcohol with he and my uncle. After we were all drunk, my dad told me that I had to live the life of two sons for him since my brother had passed away. Today I live with my parents and rely on their support. I am disappointed in myself and feel like I have let my dad down. I struggle with mental health issues, and I have turned my life into a series of failures, all of which I take full responsibility for. I've kept the conversation to myself for 35 years, never wanting to hurt my dad. However, after a recent argument, I exploded and with much vitriol, told my dad about what he said all those years ago and how it made me feel like I wasn't good enough. I also brought up all the other times he's made me feel this way in the past. In my anger, I wanted to hurt him as much as he hurt me. I was so angry and over the top that even the dogs and cats ran and hid. I regret my behavior and how I exploded, but I feel like my dad should apologize or at least acknowledge that he hurt me. Am I the asshole for wanting an apology for something said 35 years ago while intoxicated? AITA for telling my girlfriend to go and ask to be adopted by the couple she is so obsessed with. My girlfriend Katie made a new friend a few months ago, Mary. Katie talked about her a lot. Mary said this, did that, started teaching her something, etc. I thought it was a bit weird how much Katie seemed to look up to Mary, but I didn't think much of it until Mary's husband, Joe, entered the picture too. From then on, Katie talked about their relationship all the time, how they do things, how they divide the chores, how respectful are they to each other, basically how they are just the best couple ever. I've met them and they are honestly nothing special, maybe a bit on the boring side even. Yesterday evening Katie was once again going on about them, saying things like Mary and Joe are true soulmates and theirs is the healthiest relationship she had ever seen, blah blah blah. I had a really fucking long day at work, so I told her I don't want to hear about them. I don't care about her creepy crush on this random ass couple, but if she likes them so much, she should go and ask them to adopt her or ask if she can be their third. Katie then gave me the cold shoulder and left to go home to her apartment instead of sleeping at my place like she was supposed to. I need to know if I'm right and her obsession is creepy or if I'm not seeing something right and I'm the asshole here. AITA? AITA for not going with friends to convention. So I have a group of friends and we are all into anime. While I like anime, I'm a noob. I got into it from the encouragement of the friend group, but mostly because I finally gave in from the pressure. We all usually hang out and do hobbies that I myself don't normally do, but I'm happy to do it because I like hanging with friends. I'm a more outdoors type person. I love to go kayaking, hiking and camping. So I thought it would be fun to invite the group on an outdoor outing, to which they all made excuses, felt like BS excuses, on why they couldn't go or flat out that they are not interested. This hurt because I felt the same way about trying anime. I gave it a chance primarily because everyone else liked it and encouraged me, but they couldn't do the same for me. A year ago we all went to an anime convention and had a blast. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. We all agreed upon going to the convention the following year. Well, the convention is happening in a few months and the group has started to make plans for it. I was excited, but then I remembered how they all blew me off with partaking in my hobbies, asked multiple times, in the past year. So I stood my ground and backed out. When asked why, I told them the truth. Now they are acting as though MTA. I might go by myself or with another friend. I could go and have a good time, but I feel disrespected. AITA? AITA for only showering once a week? I, 24M, know that a lot of people will just look at the title and just say I'm in the wrong because of the stigma, but hear me out. It is winter where I live, so I'm consistently cold and not really sweating or anything. I usually shower when I feel gross, and it usually takes me 5 to 6 days before I actually start to feel gross. I'm not crazy. In the summer when it's hot and sticky I shower every 2 to 3 days like normal, but it just doesn't feel necessary in the winter. Anyway, the inciting incident here was on Sunday. I was ordering more shampoo and commented on how the price had almost doubled since last time. My girlfriend, 29F, Asked when I last ordered it and it was sometime in mid-2020. She was shocked. How did it take you almost 3 years to go through a bottle of shampoo? I told her that I don't use a lot, and eventually we got into how frequently I showered, and she acted like I was crazy. She didn't even know that I was averaging 1 shower a week because I keep good hygiene. I groom myself regularly and wear deodorant, so I don't think anyone can really tell the difference. Then my girlfriend, we'll call her Grenade, starts going on about, oh, that explains the smell and stuff like that. I totally think she was just making it up at this point. I've been dating her for 2 years and she's never commented about smell or anything. There's no way she just happened to decide that I smell bad now that she knows my shower schedule. She's just trying to shame me. We argued for a while about it and then she went home. Today, I saw my mom, 56F, for lunch and I told her about it. She agreed with me that it's fine and that she's never thought that I looked greasy or unclean. My mom also said that I should consider showering at least a couple times a week if Grenade has a problem with it, but if she can't actually tell the difference, why bother? I'm considering trying to say that I'm showering every other day but keeping my normal routine. If she can actually tell the difference, she will know, but if not, then it's just a little white lie. Is this wrong for me to do? Am I a supervillain just because I'm not following the societal norm? I remember reading that overshowering can cause head lice, but no one even talks about that. Reddit, has anyone else been in a similar scenario? Edit, hey everyone, appreciate the comments from people who were kind and tactful in their replies. I've done some research after seeing the overwhelming amount of responses, and I am going to start showering more to prevent the buildup of harmful bacteria. Also, some people pointed out that I accidentally said Grenade for the fake name. I'm dyslexic and meant to put Garnet LOL. Thanks for coming out everybody, hope you all have a good night. AITA for calling the police on my kid? I'm still not sure, but I don't know what else I could have done. My kid was expected home at 7 p.m. We try to extend as much trust and space as possible, as this is a person practicing to be an independent adult. They take all their classes through the local college for credit for both high school and college. They choose to have a job. Both of these are entirely their choice. Due to recently, Thursday, choosing not to come home at night with no discussion, my kid is 16. My teen is required to have location turned on for their phone. Instead of coming home for dinner at 7, they went to a hotel in a bad part of town. When I asked why, they lied and said they were buying a charger. I provided a deadline, 20 minutes for them to begin their trip home. They did not. Their father and I went to the hotel, found their car, but couldn't get them to answer their phone so we could hear their voice and know they weren't in distress, under coercion, and safe. We could not see them. They're under 18. We gave them another 25 minutes, and when they finally called their dad, they sounded high. They wouldn't come out or share a room number so we could see they were okay. We live in an incredibly high-risk area for human trafficking. I've talked to them about this since they were young. Given their behavior and the location, I didn't know what else to do. They were visiting an 18-year-old friend. Because they were an unregistered guest, and under 18 he lost his room, which is his housing, as he's in an unstable housing situation, and I feel like an asshole. I just don't know what else I could have done. So, AITA, update, to address common questions, their curfew is 11 p.m. On Thursday they didn't come home at all. They showed up 1230 p.m. in the afternoon, on Friday to get their work uniform, and we were late for work. This behavior was very out of character. When they got back, we had a calm discussion about how glad we are they're alive and safe, and that they must now share their location because of this breach of trust. To increase communication, family dinners are now 3 times a week instead of 1. They're not okay to miss. AITA for buying the car I wanted because I was paying a bigger share, so myself, M27, and my wife, F26, have been in the process of buying a new car, since we are thinking of starting a new family, so we opted for a mid-sized SUV to future-proof us in the case we have a few kids and need places to seat them. We having been looking for a few months, and I have said that I will pledge $35,000 for the car, and she said she will cover the rest up to $20,000. This is all in Australian dollars, by the way. So she quite liked the look of one model of Hyundai, which was going for about $47,000-ish, but I liked the look of a KIA Sportage, $54,000, Now both of these cars we took for a test drive, and both agreed had their certain pros and cons. I liked the entertainment system the KIA offered, but she liked the way the seats felt in the Hyundai. I said I liked the overall build of the KIA while she said she liked the way the sound system sounded in the Hyundai. I said that I would like to buy the KIA, and she said she wanted to buy the Hyundai. I said that since I paid the majority of the bill I should be able to make a final say on which car we buy if it's between two models. My wife said that it would be more economic if we bought the cheaper one, but I said that a cheaper model of the KIA, similar to the price of the Hyundai, albeit about $2,000 more expensive, still had all the functions that I liked in the more expensive one, but still said she wanted to go for the other car. There is also a huge wait time on the specific model of car that she was interested in, between 6 months and 18 months, whilst we could drive away with either model of KIA subs the day we bought them. I told her that since I was contributing the majority of the money to the car I had the final say. She said I was being an ass for the sake of it and that we didn't need the extra features, despite the fact her most important pros of her car were that the seats were more comfortable. I disagree. AITA? AITA for asking my girlfriend to leave the house for 6 to 7 hours a day? Throw away because girlfriend is a Redditor. I, 24M, am Canadian and have been in the US for 10 months, where I have been living with my American girlfriend, 25F, for 7 of them. My time in the US is almost up, and I'm stressing about having to return to Canada. For one, my family is reliant on me to make money to support my grandma and pay for her medical support. I also want to earn money to give my girlfriend. She deserves the world. Because I have so many side hustles going on to earn money, I admittedly don't spend a lot of time with my girlfriend. But I've always been open with her that I am not able to give her a lot of attention right now even though I love her more than anything. My girlfriend lost her job last month, and as a result has been at the house more often. We live in a 1-bedroom and split the rent evenly. She understands that I'm busy all day night, but I don't like when she's sitting in the same room as me. Even her presence is distracting to me. She will try to start conversations and she's not the cleanest, so I would ask her to go to the bedroom for the day while I worked in the living room at my desktop. She was okay with that for a few weeks, but began to complain that she was stuck in the bedroom. She says that since she's paying half the rent, she has every right to be where she wants to be in the house. I agree. So, after a few big fights, we agreed she would leave the house during the day and I would leave the house at night. Well, now she's upset that she's spending all day out of the house. Her car was in an accident last month and has been in the shop, so she's been going to do work in the boba shop by her house. Before anyone asks, I am not able to do the work I do during the day outside of the house, which is why I leave in the evening. Today, my friend was over and was sitting on the couch, where my girlfriend usually eats lunch. I say couch, but it's really an oversized love seat. My girlfriend went to go sit in her usual spot to eat lunch, but I asked her if she could eat in the kitchen instead so she would have more room to eat. She went to the kitchen, but I could tell she was pissed. When I asked her if everything was okay, she said she was tired of me controlling her. I think she's being selfish and not considering that I need a certain environment to concentrate and get work done, and that I am doing all of this for her and my family and one day I will be able to spend all the time in the world with her. But that right now I am really grinding and most strong relationships are built on sacrifice. So, AITA for asking my girlfriend to accommodate my work schedule? AITA for asking my GF to wear more appropriate clothing when there's guests in the house? We are currently arguing over this because it's the first thing she found. I've asked her time and time again to just wear appropriate clothing out of respect for me. But when I go to her house and she's wearing short everything while there's guest and I ask her about it, she starts arguing. AITA for wanting to know my partner's 28F Insta Password and not wanting to celebrate Valentines. I 31M have been dating this girl, 28F, for over a year. After 1 year of being together, just as she moved abroad for work, I find out that all the time she had kept contact with her ex. He was OBV flirting with her and she entertained it. He sent her photos from sauna etc. And she also talked sometimes with another ex, not flirting, both of them abroad. Also found out that when she was in a wedding abroad, she had flirted with a guy the whole night. I found all this out when she would say of not adding anyone new on Insta at this wedding while she had. I then checked her phone, not forcefully. We screen shared and were in diff countries at the time. I had repeatedly asked her if she is in contact and she repeatedly lied. I also found out about other smaller lies, This was devastating for me as news. Also for her it was a shock that she was exposed so much. For the first 2 days she cried and begged to not break up, saying she only talks because she is insecure, etc. She promised to do anything to gain my trust back and talked next day to a therapist friend. Also promised to register to therapy herself and as a couple. I decided to forgive her on condition that she should work out a plan on how to gain back my trust, hoping that we would come out stronger than before. After this she introduced me to her parents, which seemed to like me, and are even currently working on a business idea with them. It's been 2.5 months and this plan has not been done yet, even though I have asked for it repeatedly. When she goes out she gives a bit more information but not unless I ask for it. And after I ask it turns out that some guy has hit on her, but she told them she has a BF. Or she forgets to tell me of new colleagues she adds on Insta are also on parties, etc. Kudos to her for removing her 2 exes and the guy she flirted with from her Insta after I asked for it. Basically I think she should go above and beyond in sharing info, and she is not doing it. Last night we had an argument. She was planning for Valentines and I reminded her of not having the promised plan yet, while she never even used a painting kit I gave her for last Valentine's. Not even once symbolically, so I don't feel we have anything to celebrate. Also told her how she behaves is not enough to gain my trust and I at least need her Insta profile, which she had agreed before. She declined on grounds that she has convos with a best friend there. The convo ended when she said she is already doing enough to gain my trust and that the therapist told her that the hurt person also has to make a decision to trust again, which is fair, but I believe I did that when deciding to not break up. I told her it's not enough and called it good night. We haven't spoken since. AITA.